stripped of the 2022 World Cup after initial bribery claims and the unresolved row over whether to play matches in summer when temperatures in the Gulf can soar to 50 degrees centigrade. The Sunday Times claim of a trove of documents that allegedly point to some $5 million worth of vote buying is fueling a fresh push to strip the tiny emirate of the tournament.
All set for a major facelift, but will the Khalifa International Stadium in Al Rayyan ever be used to host the 2022 World Cup? Pressures mounting on FIFA, world football's governing body, to strip Qatar of the tournament. That's after British newspaper The Sunday Times unveiled fresh allegations of corruption in the bid process.
If there is a proper investigation, and that investigation says that there was corruption involved, then obviously it will have to be a revote.
The scandal centres on this man, Mohammed bin Hammam. A trove of emails and documents allegedly show how he used a $5 million slush fund to earn the support of top football officials around the world, offering them cash, gifts and junkets. The Qatari's no stranger to controversy. He left his role on FIFA's executive committee in 2011 after being accused of trying to buy votes to unseat Sepp Blatter as the organisation's president.
I'm telling you again, I did not give any cash gift to anybody. But these are a normal, this watch is a gift.
Qatar's World Cup organisers have sought to distance themselves from bin Hammam, saying the 65-year-old was never involved in their bid. But the Sunday Times claims its evidence suggests otherwise.
Our files show beyond doubt that the bid committee was working hand in hand with bin Hammam in the years before the bid, and that they worked together to win support for their campaign.
Qatar!
The decision to award Qatar the 2022 tournament surprised many, with even FIFA admitting the Gulf state's stifling summer heat wasn't conducive to staging its showpiece event.
Well, joining us now, he's a sports columnist at the Emirati Daily, The National, Omar Al-Raisi. Thank you for joining us again here on France 24. If this turns out to be a smoking gun, should Qatar be stripped of the World Cup?
No. Because just for the fact, I believe it's time that the World Cup is held in the Middle East for the first time. The World Cup, it seems like there is an agenda against Qatar hosting the World Cup from a country which I don't want to name. And it seems like every 3 or 4 months, there is a new allegation. First, we had the high temperatures. Then we had the human rights. Now we have these bribery allegations. So I think it's going to keep these allegations and conspiracies going to keep coming out after every few months to strip Qatar off from the World Cup. And I believe it's time the World Cup is held in the Middle East, whether it is Qatar or a joint GCC World Cup. We have to wait and see.
So you're saying there could be some changes ahead. You're talking about perhaps a conspiracy now. You're whetting our appetite here. Are you pointing the finger at who?
I mean, the last 3 allegations came out from the British press. So I don't know if the British FA is angry on FIFA or if they're upset. I don't know what is going on because they didn't win their bid in the 2018 World Cup, which went to Russia. So I think I don't know. This is just my belief. This is my imagination. This is what I believe it's happening because from Australia, from the United States, or from other countries, there's nothing. All the allegations are coming out from the British media. So I don't know. So
reading it though, the Sunday Times investigation does seem pretty thorough. We haven't seen, of course, I haven't peeled through all the emails that they talk about and all the documents, but we've had in recent times, for instance, the head of FIFA, Sepp Blatter, saying it was, quote, a mistake to award the World Cup to Qatar. What do people think of that?
I think, the fans here in the Middle East have mixed reactions. There is, I can tell you, like from talking to fans on Twitter, online, or in person, some of them, it's really 50-50. Some of them want it to be held in the Middle East just because it's an exciting continent. It's an exciting place where there are a lot of fans. For example, most of the fans of the European leagues are in the Middle East. They get a lot of investments from the Middle East. A lot of things happening in the Middle East, so they want in the Middle East. And on the other hand, there are fans who don't want it in Qatar just because of the human rights case which happened, and Sepp Blatter coming out and saying it was a mistake, and the heat. And some fans are worried whether Qatar can pull this off logistically, because it's been, I don't know, 3-4 years, and we see nothing. There is no stadiums built, there is no hotels built, and there is a long way to go. So people have doubts whether Qatar can pull this off logistically.
The logistics of it are important. 9 new stadiums, 3 more to be renovated. One stadium with a capacity would have a capacity of 86,000 seats. Is that realistic?
Well, financially, yes. Qatar has the financial muscle to pull this off, but do they have the experience? No, they don't have that. So this makes fans skeptical.
And would it be a waste if a stadium of 86,000, which they'll never fill after the World Cup, gets built?
That is true. But I think the local organizing committee in Qatar has made it clear after the World Cup, they're going to ship the stadiums, like the seats and the other things in the stadium, to the less fortunate countries, to donate it so they can use it there, because it's not going to be used again in Qatar. Even if they have a big tournament again, they will not going to have 86 or 90,000 fans in those stadiums. So this is one thing which is a good thing. They're going to donate it to other countries after the World Cup is done. But it seems like there are a lot of attacks on Qatar. This is what I understand. There is attack after attack to strip them off from the World Cup.
Attack after attack, but some of them have been corroborated. The head of one of the regional bodies, CONCACAF, lost his job over corruption regarding the Qatar bid. What do you make of the whole bidding process? What conclusion do you draw from it?
I think there is corruption. I think it's very clear among all the fans around the world that there is corruption within FIFA. So there will be countries, or there will be organizations or football associations who might take advantage of it because the system is corrupted within FIFA. Whether now we blame Qatar for this, or whether we blame bin Hammam, or whether we blame FIFA, I don't know. I will let people and the audience make up their own mind. But we know that the system within FIFA is a little bit, under the table. Things happen under the table. So people might have taken advantage of it. I don't know. But what I know as a fan of football, we want the World Cup in the Middle East. I think it's time, because the World Cup doesn't belong to anybody. It belongs to the world.
And do you think it would be successful in the being held in the Gulf Emirates under the heat of summer?
I think FIFA had confirmed that it's going to be moved to December, and the weather in December in the Middle East is perfect. It goes to 23, 24, 25 degrees, which is a perfect temperature to play football games. In the heat of the summer, I think it could be dangerous for the players and, of course, for the fans. Millions of fans traveling to Qatar. That would not make sense. But I think moving it to December, which has its own consequences to the different leagues and the Champions League and the transfer markets, but in December in Qatar, the weather is perfect. And I think FIFA has confirmed that they're going to move it to December.
All right. Omar Al-Raisi, thank you very much for joining us there from Abu Dhabi. Omar Al-Raisi, sports columnist at Emirati daily newspaper, The National.
Thank you.
Stay with us. Coming up, much more here on France 24. We'll have more news, plus business and the day's sports preparations for the World Cup that's coming up next week in Brazil. France, a 1-1 draw in its preparation against Paraguay. Dan Levy will tell all.